Hi guys, just another video about the iPad Pro and other options. In this case, the Pixelbook Go. I've been trying to use the iPad Pro for office work and also for photography work. And I have the, as you know, I have the keyboard. I even have the mouse. So when I try to remote into a Windows PC or a Windows server for support, it kind of makes it sort of look like a laptop, and it works really well with the mouse. You could actually right click and do whatever you like. But the form factor on this really sucks. You can't really put it on your lap because of the floppy keyboard, and it leaves a lot to be desired because it also doesn't have a full browser. It has Safari, which is pretty good, but most people use, or at least I use, Google Chrome, and I have a ton of plugins that I rely on, and you just can't do anything on the iPad Pro side. It's very limiting. So the form factor is great. Anything that has to do with graphics, that machine rules. It's really, really quick, especially on Lightroom. There's nothing really that could touch it. But for office work, any kind of writing, anything that requires you to do real work, I just can't get used to this thing. It's just not working out. So the Pixelbook Go came out. This is the lowest end one. It's the cheapest one. I think it's $600. It's the i3. So I gave it a shot because I've had the Slate before this, and I actually had the other Pixelbook, the expensive one. But this one seemed to be the perfect size. It's pretty small. It's not big, and it does have a touchscreen, which is cool. But it allows, the main thing about this thing is the keyboard and the trackpad. It just rules. So if I have to, remote into a server or a workstation, just having the trackpad and a full keyboard, it's just so convenient compared to having to log those things around and having to set them up. It also is a way more capable machine in terms of for office kind of work. I use, of course, Chrome. And I do have a bunch of plugins installed, and they work perfectly, just like a desktop browser. I also have installed Firefox, the Linux version of it, so I could keep my work stuff separated. So this is a full version of Firefox. It runs perfectly well. I think I also have Thunderbird for email, to separate the work email from the Gmail stuff that's more personal. And I even have, this is the Android version of Outlook, which works great. It kind of works like the real version of Outlook. I mean, it doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but it works great. And other things that you could do with a Chromebook, not just the Pixelbook, but any Chromebook. You could install Android apps. So I have a few Android apps here, like Word and Excel if I need to edit something on the go. But it also allows you to use Linux apps, which is really, really cool. In my case, for Linux, I don't have much stuff right now. I think I don't have that much stuff installed other than the browser and the email client. I guess I have LibreOffice or OpenOffice, and I have something to like Visual Studio for Microsoft to do a little bit of coding. And other than that, I have just a couple of widgets that run on it. But this machine can run full browser. It can run Android apps. It can run Linux apps, which is great. And the form factor is awesome. It's small, doesn't really weigh much. It's pretty small. I mean, this thing, it's a little bit, nothing against the iPad, but it's a little bit clunky. It is smaller, but if you have to start carrying around the keyboard, the stylus, the adapter, it becomes a little bit bigger. I mean, granted, the Pixelbook is a little bit bigger already, but I find myself carrying this thing everywhere. I don't use the iPad as much unless I have to do image editing. At that point, yes, I will switch over to the iPad. Another cool thing, actually, it's not really a cool thing. I have both bags. Just wanted to show you guys. I want the smallest bags I could get for both of them because I don't really like carrying stuff. And I'll put a link for the description for this bag, because there's not that much stuff listed for the the Pixelbook Go. So I tried like 3 cases before I found something that really fits it snug, and I could carry. I like to have like just the minimum, the bare minimum with me. This bag does a great job. I have the same thing for the iPad when I was carrying the iPad around. This one's tomtoc, but it's much simpler to order books for. Order covers and cases for the iPad. This one's also very small. I love this thing. So that's it. Just wanted to do a quick video on what I've been up to, and if you have any questions, just basically type them below. Thanks, man. Bye.